I got no sound, guys.
No, I don't hear nothing either.
I got no sound, man. Are we live?
Can you hear us? You ain't got no sound?
I couldn't hear the intro, so hopefully we're live.
We are live.
Okay, good. Well, if we are, hey, this is Nick Athan, your host. Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com. Daniel says he can hear us, so I think we're all good. Ken says the same, so we'll proceed. That's Hense Todd, my partner there with Bowtie Sports. Check out a show every Saturday, 1 o'clock Central Time, YouTube. You can catch it out. Bowtie Sports. We are here on a Red Friday. The Chiefs play Monday night. And before we get started, let's talk about our sponsors. First up, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for somebody who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, that person is Eric Haynes. You can call him today at 816-729-3785. Or you can email him at esaleskc@gmail.com. If you're looking for that one person who can walk you through the entire process, he spent 9 months helping Emily and I find a house. We finally did. It was a long, enduring experience, but he was there every step of the way with his team. So give Eric Haynes a call today if you want the same experience, 816-729-3785. Or you can email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
That's right. Another proud sponsor is my amazing, incredible wife, Emily Athan. Open enrollment has begun. It started today. It will last until December 15th. So if you are looking for a better healthcare solution, you can call her today to get a custom quote, analyze your current plan, whether you're looking for a private option that she has available through United Healthcare that includes a nationwide PPO plan, or you need help with an ACA plan, she can take care of that. So give her a call today at 913-215-9086. Don't wait because rates are very volatile.
Emily.
And next up, our new sponsor, Resell Electronics.
The hearing impaired version.
Yeah, the hearing impaired there. I don't know what's going on with their sound, but hopefully you guys can hear us. Resell Electronics, our new sponsor. They buy and sell consumer electronics of all kind. They've got 2 great locations in Nolan Road and 40 Highway, both in Independence. So if you're looking to buy a laptop or a cell phone, or you got some old electronics around and you want to turn them in, give the guys a call at 816-886-7285, or you can email them at resellwithac.electronics.com. Resell. There we go. I think we're having some technical issues today, guys, so just bear with us. I'm not sure what's going on today. It might be just me and you, Lou.
There we go. We can talk about the Chiefs, I guess.
We can talk about the Chiefs, I guess.
I don't know, man. I think it's some of the string yard. It keeps kicking Dre out.
Yeah.
I guess it kicks the sound out. So bear with us, guys.
All right, guys.
Dre's in the dark.
He's in the dark. Well, he is a Cardinals fan. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Maybe he can say hello to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Come out of the woods, man. It's okay. It's a safe space. It's all good.
Let's go ahead and roll. How you guys' day is going so far?
It's Friday.
That's trying to hit the show so far.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's Friday. Chiefs play obviously Monday night against the Tampa Bay Bucks. There's a rumor one of our followers is in town, so maybe we'll be able
hopefully more than one. But
hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him at some point. But how you guys doing, Lou? What's going on the left coast there?
Well,
right
before we
go ahead, please.
I'm gonna do a sound test. Can y'all hear that?
Yes, we can hear the bell.
Okay.
All right.
Round 1. Here we go. Well, the weather's had a significant change. We had the first, 2-3 days this week. We're well into the 70s, nearly 80 degrees. It's a very windy Halloween night, so you can imagine it was a pretty good night overall. Yes. But so now we're in the 50s. It's raining, so Tua plays in Buffalo up the road here over the weekend. I think Jared Goff will be making his first game outside this week. So
isn't that crazy?
An interesting weekend.
Goff is not. I think he's only got 2 games outside this year. 3.
Yeah, I think Green Bay and Chicago for sure. Obviously, I don't know if there was. I can't think of who they're playing. Who the AFC division they're playing, but there's not many. I think there was 3, and that was something that was a huge deal at the beginning of the year, and one of the main reasons that I like them so much. And Jared Goff, as a potential MVP candidate. So So again, we're in week 9. Everything, it's nut cutting time, if you would. This is where the teams tend to separate. You got all these 2-win teams that this could be the final weekend of their season where they just kind of finish it off, play out the string. And then some teams think they still have a chance. So it should be an interesting weekend. And hopefully my picks are back up to snuff.
I did really good last weekend in my picks.
Did you? Yeah,
I did. I went on a show Sunday and I picked every game, and I only missed 2. So I felt pretty fortunate. Of course, I don't gamble, so I didn't put any money down, but threw some wild stuff out there, and it stuck. So it's all good. So we'll see what happens when if we were going to make our picks today or not. We'll see. But
amazing how things change when you got some skin in the game.
It does. I mean, I remember the days when I used to partake in that aspect of the Sunday, and it was just mind numbing. And when I started doing it, I mean, you didn't have multiple games on TV. You had to go to a sports bar that hopefully had enough feeds, or you would curtail your bets to see which games you can actually watch in the sports bar back in the day. But now it's like, you can watch anything almost at any time.
The dinosaur-like score phones.
Oh God, that ESPN pager phones. Yes, I had that.
Calling the 800 number or 900 number, God forbid, to get updated scores.
Yeah, it's things have changed quite a bit. What's up with you, Mr. Hense? How are you, buddy?
Over here fixing get people in here in and out.
Turning wrenches.
Yes. We are having some technical issues today, guys. We apologize. We'll do our best to get through it as we approach this Friday. Obviously, this is a big NFL weekend. This is kind of going to be the weekend where a lot of teams are going to decide what to do with their rosters, because the trade deadline is ironically on election day this year, which is really bizarre. So we will have the trade results by about 4:00 Eastern, 3 Central, before we will have the presidential election results later that night or over the next 2 weeks. So who knows how it's going to all.
Yeah, so what's it? Steve Kornacki. That's going to be a very interesting day for him on NBC.
He's the most entertaining. I'm not a big pollster guy or read much into polls or anything like that, but because obviously he does some really fun work on the NFL side as well. But
that's where I know him from, is Sunday night on.
He's going to be very busy,
given the playoff probabilities and what's happening, what's coming up next. Actually, I've never seen him do a political side of it. I can imagine it's pretty energetic and pretty funny the way he normally is. But
for me, I'll be glad I don't have to watch any more of those commercials on Sunday football going forward. This is the last weekend of it. Thank goodness.
Well, I'm ready for some football, man.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? So as you guys talk, hey, we got a member that's going to be in town. We ready for the Buccaneers, coming up as Coach Dre get his Cardinals situation fixed on the back end. We'll be bringing in Coach pretty soon. So with that said, let's get into some of these comments before we move on.
Let's do it. Well, it's good to know we got Daniel was in first. Daniel's
everybody's pretty much greeting themselves.
Yeah, this is kind of a greeting thing today.
Yeah. So.
Freeway's in. Another great
So
day to be a Chief.
we appreciate giving you all a forum to meet in, and
This is
hopefully,
right, man.
hopefully you actually listen to some of the nonsense that we talk
We
about.
will have at some point
Yeah.
a Chiefs Blitz 4 guys in a bar party, and we can have hopefully all these people come in town, and we can just have one big party. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't see that ever happening.
Oh, come on.
It's great. It's great to dream, Nick. It really is.
Before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into what Spags talked about today about the new addiction, and I'm adding it somebody else. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Let's do it. Yeah, the Chiefs had the coordinators spoke today, and I thought this was a pretty good quote from Steve Spagnuolo, the incredible defensive coordinator, talking about Brett Veach and his moves. Brett is great. He's so collaborative. He's always bouncing things off me. Joshua was not the only name he came to mind and mentioned. So that leads to the big question: are the Chiefs done? I don't think so. I think they're going to add another defensive piece, and I think it's going to be Mr. Lattimore from the Saints. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, if what you got? Go ahead, Lou. I'll let him go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it was you guys talk about Jeremy Fowler. I mean, I've heard him before and whatever. I don't know how dialed in he is to the Chiefs or whatever, but I think he mentioned because they're so successful at going back to the well that Steven Nelson and Marcus Peters are both still out there, retired, sort of. Like there's a chance that maybe they go back to that. I don't believe that for a second, but it was a nice thought, a nice theory, and he got a few paragraphs out of it. But I don't know. I mean, it's it remains to be seen. We'll see where these teams are at. I mean, you mentioned Lattimore. The Saints have lost, I don't know, 6 in a row. They play the Panthers this week. I don't know whether they win or not. I don't think it even makes a difference. It just depends on how they are the most uniquely built team. And since Mickey Loomis has been there, how they manage their cap is very unique within the league, and how they push things off and then they just kind of redo things. I had mentioned that perhaps they were going to, had a good opportunity to offload Alvin Kamara. They ended up giving him an extension.
Yeah.
So I guess that probably created some space the way they structured the contract. But with Lattimore, yeah, you like the talent, sure. I mean, a former first-round pick, Ohio State guy. I mean, sure. And this would be great.
It would be huge. It would also be extremely difficult.
I mean, we talked about J.C. Horn, but J.C. Horn's much younger. But again, you're in the same situation as somebody that you're going to have to pay a lot of money to. Yep. And unfortunately, that's not really the place that the Chiefs are right now. And I have a lot of faith in the guys that we have in the building. I have a lot of faith in the defensive coaches, and that includes Coach Dave Merritt. That I don't know. I mean, if Spags ever hangs it up, if he's still hanging around, I would love it if he got to bump up the defensive coordinator if they have to go that route.
Right. If they go that route.
Knock on wood, that's several years down the road.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. It's just hard to predict, a trade, who they trade for, who's available, what they're willing to give up. But a guy like Lattimore, you would imagine the compensation back to the Saints would be pretty significant.
Well, he's got 30. Do that?
Yeah. Welcome, man, Coach Dre, man. Hey, Coach, he had all kind of technical.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening to everybody. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's $32 million over the next 2 years. The only way the Chiefs can create any cap space is what Daniel said: restructure Thuney's contract. That's it. There's no other options. There's no other place on the roster. They've already moved. They've already taken care of Kelsey. They've moved some money around with Mahomes. I mean, there's nothing left for them to do except to move Thuney's number. And then maybe they can fit it in. But, then as we talked about earlier in the week, where does that leave us with Trey Smith? And the Trey Smith thing is kind of crazy to me because everything I hear is they have an understanding or they have some form of agreement. But for whatever reason, they haven't announced it yet. So I don't know if there's a snag. Maybe they want more money. Maybe they've looked at the market and said, you know what, maybe we want more money than Creed got. So we'll kind of see how that shakes out. But,
maybe it fits better in next year's cap.
Well, yeah, it could. Well, they do get a benefit if they announce the signing before, I believe it's the end of November, if they announce the signing, then they can put some of that money on this year's cap or some of the bonus money to offset what it would cost next year. So there's definitely some things that they could do, and that's what I think that they're going to have to do. Thuney's the only way they're going to get any name player in here with a big contract. Even the Cam Robinson deal that he went to the Minnesota, and they ate what, $7 million of the $9 million remaining, and the Chiefs felt that was too much. So it's going to be tough for them to pull off trade. But if they make a splash, I think it's going to be Lattimore. I have no idea how Brett Veach is going to do it. I don't know what kind of draft compensation they're going to want. John Harrison said he was drafted right after Mahomes. You're right. And this is the guy that they a lot of teams loved. And I don't know, man. It's going to be pricey, but that's the only player I want.
Why not get him? Shit, hell. Like
check out the big brain on Brad.
Hey, I'm with you, Nick. He's physical, man. He a stud too. And Bo, it's the guy that you would like because he do talk a lot of mess. He talk a lot of mess, man. So,
but yeah, I would like him. But hey, if they're going to get somebody on the streets, if they can bring back Kareem Hunt, why not give my guy, my favorite cornerback in the league, a second chance? Bring back Marcus Peters. Hey, I would take that all day.
Where's he at?
Bring him back. Bring him back. Give him a second chance, please. Please.
Hey, where's he at though? Where's Marcus Peters at? Where's Marcus Peters
at? He's a free
Marcus is in the studio recording some licks.
Yeah. He's working on his music. That
man ain't coming to Kansas.
Yeah, so Jeremy Fowler's probably just gassing up Chiefs Kingdom out there. I mean, people
he's pretty dialed in.
Like all this stuff. Panthers don't want to trade J.C. Horn. Yeah, hello. They drafted him in the top 10. That was never, I don't think, no matter what was said out there or who dropped whatever, I don't think that was ever even a whisper in Brett's ear. Okay. So whatever on that. It's easy to say, well, let's get that guy or let's go get that guy. Well, why would that team want to give him up? I mean, that's the whole idea. Now, Lattimore he's a little bit older, but he's still in his prime.
Like they said Peters have heart.
That's a lot of.
Give him back, bring him back, give him a second chance.
That's the only thing he got.
And
that's the only thing he got.
And that's they're used to having dead cap money, but that's a lot of dead cap money.
Couldn't play man to man. He can't jump no more. Them days is over. So what you got? Nothing but heart. You got nothing but heart.
Be quiet.
So let's talk about the guy. Let's talk about the guys that are here. Let's talk about this game coming up. Let's talk about anything besides.
Let's talk about the Wallace guy.
Let's talk about the Wallace guy. Throw names and see.
Let's talk about this Wallace guy. That bow tie like the glaze. He said he like Wallace.
I like Roland Wallace too.
Y'all like Wallace, huh?
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs like Roland Wallace.
But can Wallace get the job done though?
He certainly is going to get the opportunity because. Over the next 2 games, at least, he's going to have. He needs to get up to speed and get ready for the Buffalo Bills in 3 weeks.
Well, what you have for us for Chiefs? Who everybody was looking for it on Wednesday.
Again, another hard left. Okay, let's go. Strike up the band.
This is how we get off the Marcus Peters conversation.
Hello?
Okay, so I'm hearing Kareem is in Kansas City. Does he have computer access?
We'll see.
Is he dialed in? I haven't seen him in weeks. He's still sitting on 2. Nobody else has any. So please, somebody get on the board.
I'm winning this week.
All right. So for those of you that are new to the game, and there's probably not many of you out there, but we typically on Wednesdays do this little game called Chief Who. And basically it's somebody that's on the roster that I will read off a list of concocted clues that probably only make sense to me and I guess Kareem, and we'll see where it goes. You can play along. Please play along in the chat here. So let's do it. Here we go. Hensley, where's the band? Are they playing or no?
They've been on strike.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Anyway, we'll adapt here. Okay, so this Chief was a 2-time first-team all-conference performer.
George Karlaftis.
Clue number 1. Clue number 2, came into the league like a rocket shot.
Okay.
Came into the league like a rocket shot.
Hold on.
Clue number 3, made a name for himself along with an internet host while in college.
Ruben says Xavier Worthy.
It is not X.
Oh, he's now X.
His film review is detailed and amazing. Look at Akers. He's all over it. Marcus Peters. He's not on the roster, but I appreciate the comedic response there, Daniel. Very good.
Let's see.
Very good and on point. All right.
Came in like a rocket.
Clue number 5. He's actually a +2 this season. He is a +2 this season.
Came in like a rocket. Let's see.
Ruben says T Cuffs. It is not T Cuffs. Nick, you had a guess earlier. Sorry, I think I missed it.
I said George Karlaftis.
It is not Furious George.
FAU.
Where are you, Kareem? No, it is not FAU.
Nazi Johnson, Daniel
Nazi
Akers.
Johnson. Okay, a lot of DBs. Damn Lou. No, it's not. Oh, okay. I hear you, Ruben. I thought that was a guess. All right, no problem. Thanks for playing. All right. So we are going once. Do you want me to read? I'll read him again.
Read him again, Ro. Read him again.
who?
2-time first team all conference.
Okay, that could be anybody.
In his college days, right?
Okay, that could be
Came
50
into
guys
the
on the
league
roster.
like a rocket shot. Made a name for himself along with an internet host, also while in college. His film review is detailed and amazing.
Okay, we got some guesses. John said Leo Chanel.
Final clue. He's a +2 this season. And I want to congratulate somebody out there that has their thinking cap on. Let's hear it for Ken St. Clair. Your winner and chief who this week is Kareem Hunt.
Way to go, Kenny.
Way to go, Ken St. Clair.
Right, keep it
you
in the
are
Barstow
on the
family.
board. Came in like a rocket shot. Obviously, he played for the Toledo Rockets. Made a name for himself along with an internet host in the GoDaddy.com Bowl in 2015, where he rushed for 271 yards and scored 5 touchdowns.
GoDaddy.
His film review is detailed and amazing for many reasons. Wink, wink. And then he's a +2 this season, wearing 29 instead of 27. There you have it. This week's Chief Who, Kareem Hunt. Way to go, St. Clair.
Man, go.
You are
all right, Kenny, send me your info on Facebook, and I'll send you something out.
Man, hold on.
Well, Nick, we are playing for an overall prize, which we're in week 9, and we still don't know.
I might be feeling. I mean, I'm kind of partial to the St. Clair family, so.
But you can send them whatever you like. But we still, I think everybody would like to see what they're playing for.
I will debut the Friday preview show of the Chiefs and the Bills. I will debut the prize.
Kareem 2. All right. Again, that was Chief Who, brought to you by Eric Haynes.
Eric Haynes and the Eric Haynes group.
Oh, yes. Wrong one. You. I'm sorry, guys. Wrong one.
Daniel, we don't rig anything here. It's just not it's not in our DNA.
Nick,
just so we're clear.
That guitar looked very shiny back there.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm almost.
He still haven't played it.
I'm almost to the point where I'm going to pick it up again. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We getting close.
I promised I would sing an original somewhere over the rainbow. One of these rainbows.
One of your original bangers, huh?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
One of your original classics. I got you.
All right. Marshawn Lattimore isn't happening. Saints are in cap hell. It'd be at least $14 million to eat. Not happening. Alontae Taylor is more likely from the Saints, also friends with Trey Smith.
Man, Perry gonna say that's easy. Sam gonna say that's easy. It wasn't easy, Sam. It wasn't easy. Don't be talking like
Taylor
it was easy.
a little bit of a surprise in the draft. He's a Tennessee guy, obviously. They played together there. And he's kind of overperformed his draft play, but I don't see them. Why would you get rid of a really good young player?
So y'all got faith in Wallace.
I do.
I've got faith in everybody on the roster. They wouldn't be here if they couldn't play.
I already know you do, Lou. All right, you got faith in everybody, just like Bo. Y'all got unprecedented faith. I get that. I'm just saying.
Well, I get it because coming from your perspective, where you've got maybe 20 guys that can play on the entire team. That's your experience. We can't fault you for that.
No.
But when you've got a championship team and it's like balls just to get on the team,
absolutely.
If you make the team, you got to be pretty damn good.
You got to be pretty good on the bench. Some of these guys are just not good. They're just on the championship team.
Well, I don't know, Coach. That just sounds like.
Oh, y'all don't know about the not everybody. Not everybody can't see Chiefs is great. Everybody's great. All right,
let's get right into the sponsors before we go into the next subject.
All right, let's do it. First up, let's talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for someone who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, this is your guy. From start to finish, he took care of me and Emily. Went through a 9-month journey, got the house we wanted. Him and his team were amazing, negotiated everything in our favor, and that's what you want when you're buying or selling a house. So give Eric Haynes a call today at 816-729-3785. Email esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Kareem Hunt.
Chief Kareem Hunt today. Also today is the start of open enrollment. So if you have a current ACA plan or Obamacare plan and you're looking to re-up for January of 2025, you can give my wife Emily a call at 913-215-9086. If you want a private option, maybe that has a better deductible, a better range of area like a nationwide PPO, and also lower deductible, then she can advise you on that as well. Can't do it if you don't call. So call her today at 913-215-9086.
Nikki loves
I do.
And we ain't gonna roll video. We're gonna go right into it because we don't know what's going on with that.
All right, we're having some video issues, so we'll talk about our new sponsor, Resell Electronics. If you're looking to buy or sell any consumer electronics, cell phone, tablet, laptop, game consoles, anything, home audio, TVs, maybe you got some old stuff lying around, they'll hand you cash. If you're looking to get an early start on the Christmas holidays, they've got some of the best prices in Kansas City. They've got 2 great locations in Independence, 1214A South Nolan Road and down on 40 Highway, the other side of 70. Give them a call at 816-886-7285. You can check out their website, www.resell.electronics.com.
Resell
Electronics.
Resell.
I love it. Now, they're great guys. I know they've had a good response. Please make sure you tell them that the guys at Chiefs Blitz and the 4 Guys in a Bar podcast sent them over, so that way they can kind of keep track.
That's right.
But great new sponsor. We appreciate them very much. And in fact, I think we're going to be showcasing some of their stuff on the show here shortly. So excited to do that.
We're going full QVC, baby.
Hey, whatever it takes.
QVC. We're better than QVC.
Whatever it takes to get us to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. In Bo we trust. Right? In Bo we trust, man. Hey, man.
I asked them, can we show some of the product? And they said yes.
Bo got that shiny TV back there from East Resale. You know what I'm saying? He's already put it on display.
There he is, Mr. Paris. Go check him out today. Make sure you tell them that we sent you. All right?
Mr. Paris.
Mr. Paris is going to be a new sponsor December 1st, so we're excited about that.
He said the cube, huh? Well, maybe you might find the cube is already put together.
I don't know, man. Are we doing picks today? What's going on here today?
Let's get right into the show topics. We're going to go picks right after that. We ain't doing picks. We're going to do the top 6.
Fine.
Cube team.
You the captain.
So what would you expect from D-Hop in his second game with the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers? What you got to say about this, Lou?
More.
We're
expecting more.
More.
Well, I think with
Kobe.
now like a second week of practice now, obviously time on task with Patrick, kind of understanding how Travis patrols the middle of the field. That's going to be a big part of it. I think just the fact that they're playing a Todd Bowles defense, you're going to see a lot of pressures. So he's going to be kind of hot on certain routes and certain pressures that they bring. So I think he's just going to get more and more involved. I don't want to compare him to Juju, but that's kind of the role that he'll have. Now he'll be able to do other things. I just don't know that, those 50-50 balls are really part of this offense. It really hasn't been, since Patrick's been the quarterback. They haven't had a guy like that. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Reed incorporates that into the offense, where maybe, in the red zone, you throw him a jump ball. If it's like last night when, 3rd and 19, and there really wasn't much going on in the play, and Rodgers just throws it up to Garrett Wilson, who was not open by any stretch. And he just pulls, the Michael Jordan logo, and the rest is history. But no, D-Hop, I think you'll see him get more and more involved as the weeks go on. So maybe he catches, 4 or 5 balls on Monday night instead of just 2.
Yeah, I think his impact's going to be much greater. I think this is also going to help Xavier Worthy. He was on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, if anybody missed it. Now he's a really difficult interview because he answers in very few words. But one of the things he mentioned,
Sneed.
Yeah, Jerry Sneed. One of the things that he mentioned was, D-Hop has already spent time with him, kind of teach him some stuff. I think once those two understand each other on the field a little bit better, because the Chiefs have had, they're trying to take Worthy into this role of kind of a Rice-like thing, and it's just not there yet. And he may get there, but he's not the same body size. And I think he can run the routes because they use him a lot as a decoy. I just think that now that they have D-Hop, they got a guy who can go up and get a ball, a sideline one or a touchdown. I think that's going to help Worthy kind of maybe Patrick takes a few more shots with him. But I think instead of the 20 to 25 snaps he got, I think you're going to see closer to 40 to 45 offensive snaps. And I think he's going to have a much bigger game. Now, the Bucs defense is really, really good. Despite the injuries on offense, they still have a pretty stout defense. But the last time they had a stout defense was in Tampa Bay, and the Chiefs went down there, and I think they put up 40-some-odd points. So, we'll see. But he needs to be more of a focal point of the offense. And real quick, Daniel asked the question, Juju will not be back Monday. The goal is that he will be back for the Bills game, which means he will miss next week's Broncos game as well.
Man, y'all talking about we ain't got no guy that can get into the end zone. We had Ross.
Oh, stop it. That ship has sailed, man.
There we go. We still on
Remember at the beginning of the show, y'all talking about everybody on Chiefs team is great. I believe in every player.
Here we go. Here we go,
listen,
Coach.
Now,
You want to hold on.
I want to point something out. I just want to point out one thing.
He want to talk about my cube is confused. Confused.
Down at the bottom of this, it actually asked the question in script.
It did.
Right. There's nothing in there about Ross or now he does. They both wear number 8, so maybe you got
what to expect from D-Hop.
You know what, guys?
Game.
I'm sorry because Hense said Marcus Peters, and no, Marcus Peters always go left. So I had that Marcus Peters mentality right now.
When you had your technical difficulties, sir, you missed out on a point of Nick asked the question.
I did
about the cornerbacks coming back. What any some on the market somebody put out?
I did. Well, get off my time, sir. I'm trying to talk about D-Hop. Damn. So listen, no D-Hop to me is sure hands, guys. In the red zone, he's going to get it done. His efficiency in the red zone is top tier. It's top tier. I mean, he played with below average quarterbacks, high qualified quarterbacks, and he's consistent. He can get the job done. He can get the job done.
So you're saying Aaron Murray was below standard?
Hold on now, Nick. Hold on now.
I'm a clarification here.
Wait. Kyler Murray is right now. He's top 5 right now. Top 5. Put some respect on my guy now. But not Diop look good though. Diop look good. And I feel like once Mahomes and them get it together, he's gonna have a big game. And once they get that chemistry, it's gonna be lights out. So yeah. I expect him to have a big game against the Buccaneers.
I'm looking for him to have a bigger jump to coming out of game 2. It's like anything that D Hop that goes up on the social medias everywhere. He's just the guy, man. And then you gotta look at it. You know, I mean, he's a Travis Kelce 2.0. The guy, you know, he got short hands. You know, they say he got the biggest hands in the NFL. You know, man, as a receiver. So there's a lot of people say the glove size. You know, so I want to see what happens when a guy come out and play ball this Monday night against the Buccaneers, and their secondary is all beat up. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm expecting big things from D Hop this upcoming second game.
Gotcha.
So funny. So what do you expect? Can you expect Xavier Worthy to take the next step?
Well, they call him X. Can we expect X to take the next step? That's
go ahead, coach.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead. You can call him all you want.
Right, Nick said something that was very important. He said his body size is too small.
Who said that?
You did, Nick. He said his body size. He ain't no rice type. He ain't got the rice.
That's not what I said.
I'm just relating to what you said.
It was in pertaining to routes,
right?
And route running, and so certain types of plays.
Far be it for me to ever side with the coach, but I'm pretty sure you said they don't have the same body type, which is
you did.
I heard it too.
I'm just saying.
Okay, to be politically correct, it was not size. Okay, it was
not the same body type.
Not the same body type. You're talking about a guy who's 3 inches shorter, 4 inches shorter.
So he's smaller.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, there's no disputing that.
Yes.
So I don't know. It just depends, because over the last couple of games, it's been so inconsistent. Maybe he couldn't run the same route. Mahomes overthrows him. He dropped a couple balls that was in his hand. So I don't know.
But he does leave all rookies in touchdowns, sir.
I did pick him as my rookie of the year, so I don't think it's
I'm
gonna
just
happen now.
saying.
He leave all rookies in touchdowns. I mean,
go do the math, sir.
Andy Reid's touchdowns, yes, but pure receiver, no. But I got you though. I got you on the gadget plays and stuff like that. I got you.
But again, I expect, I expect him to. He can. I think he can take the next step with D Hop. You know, he got actually like a veteran, like Hall of Famer bound receiver. That's going to be sitting down and talking to him and teaching him, how to run a route tree, to talk to him all the rest of this year. So
I agree.
I can see him taking that next jump. I know on the show that he said that he had Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Brown went down. But Hollywood Brown had D Hop too. So D Hop is coming
back.
over here. He's coming over here. I can see Xavier Worthy taking the next step. What about you?
Well, as a first round pick, I mean, I'm hoping he can take the next step, and I do believe he can take the next step, whatever that next step is. I think what you just want to see from him is a little bit more consistency, and then the other piece is he has to get more time on task and more. You can say he needs more targets. He has to be open, because right now he, to me, is just a better version of McCole Hardman.
There you go. Yep.
Which isn't like a bad thing, but you want to hope that he does graduate from that, because we had that, we still have that, and we didn't have to spend an extra first round pick to go get it. So we want to see him take that next step. Now, is he going to have a better opportunity with guys getting, other wide receivers getting more attention? Absolutely. It just depends on how much they really want to feature him. And I believe they will. It's just small bites right now. We have to be patient, just as he does, because I'm sure he wants more attention, wants more balls coming his way.
That's right. See?
Well, there's a lot of film already, and you can see he's open a lot more. And Patrick is, partially because of the offensive line, the tackles, even though they played pretty well against the Raiders in the previous week, they still, Patrick's he's got to be a little bit more patient with him, and he's got to make more throws to him down the field, if nothing more, just to stretch the defense, to give him the idea that might be there, because they use him a lot as a decoy. And you can just see some of these plays that are designed. I mean, he's going one way and the play's going the other way, and you're seeing the safety come over. You're seeing him, between the corner and the safety, and there's a lot of room there for Patrick to make some plays with him. But again, it was about this time that Rashee Rice a year ago kind of started to put it together, and I think
they'd have the similar numbers too if you look at both.
Yeah, they were very similar.
Yeah,
So
but the
similar
part
numbers
again, they're
for
two.
his
So
target.
they're
Yeah,
two.
go ahead,
two
keep blazing your boy. Keep blazing your
they are
boy.
two
Fact
totally
check,
di-
sir.
two.
He no Marvin.
They are two totally different players, right? I mean, Rashid's got a lot more
Marvin ain't but
girth,
Marvin.
a lot more
Marvin
girth
way
to
better than
him.
Worthy.
And really good after the catch, can make guys miss, and then also like break tackles. So I mean, much bigger dude.
Yep.
But I think the other part of that, Nick, is where you see maybe he is open on some of those plays.
Right.
The percentage of hitting that pass is a little bit lower, and you hear it when Patrick talks. You hear it just watching the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's being more judicious with those balls because he knows he wants to play to the defense.
Right.
And if all of a sudden they're taking shots downfield and missing them and then going 3 and out, now all of a sudden, you're putting your defense in a bad way, or they're coming back on the field a lot sooner than you want them to.
That's real.
So if he's got guys that are underneath open, he's more than likely that percentage of completion is going to be much higher. So those are the ones that he's taken. Now, eventually he will take some of those downfield, but it's not going to be as often. So when you say decoy, there's, for the love of the game routes where he's just
for the love of the game routes,
for you're just clearing space. The ball's not coming to you. You're just there to kind of take some defenders away so the guys can come underneath. So yeah, it's going to come. It's just everybody's got to be a little bit patient. But Xavier, I think, is doing what they expect him to do. I think they're happy with where he's at.
Well, listen, but right now, both like from Kelsey to D-Hop, Worthy gonna get his time them one-on-ones because those two guys are gonna set up shop for him to go out there and prove himself. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gonna double team Worthy. They honestly, you see a lot of these defense. Honestly, they want that one-on-one with Worthy. They want to see can Worthy get separation. And that's what we got to see. Now, D-Hop is gonna be contained. Kelsey's gonna be contained as in they're gonna be double covered. But now Worthy got the opportunity to go out there and show itself.
Yeah, I want to get this question in from Chiefs again. Do you think we're going to re-sign Hopkins? Well, we kind of sort of talked about this. I think he definitely has a couple years left. He doesn't seem to. Yeah, he's lost a little bit of speed, but he can still run routes. He's still got great hands. If they win a Super Bowl, when they win the Super Bowl this year, his contract was voided with the trade. So there's after this season, he's a free agent again. He chose the money in the past, but I got to think if he has some success here in Kansas City, and he's his own agent, so it's his decision. I would think the Chiefs, depending on what they see out of Hollywood Brown when he comes back in December, both those guys and Juju, all three are going to be free agents. But I could make a strong case, having all three of them back next year, along with Rice when he returns mid-year, and another year with Xavier Worthy. That's the most formidable wide receiver group that Patrick Mahomes will probably ever have on the field. And that's assuming Kelsey plays one more year after this year, which I still think is 50-50. But I think there's a chance there's a chance they could sign
agent or no, it's always going to be the player's decision. So let's get that.
Well, that's not some agents have a good pull on some of these guys to do things a certain way.
The guy's 32 years old. He's a veteran. He's going to kind of direct where he goes.
I know for him.
He just savvy.
He's his own.
But there's no middleman here. It's
right.
Sitting in a room.
He's his own agent.
That's whatever. That negotiating the contract. Yes. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. But in terms of the decision on where to go, that's always going to be the player's decision. If you're a free agent or there's a trade to be happening, but even then in a trade, whatever team you're on, they have to do you a solid because you don't have any say in where you go. If the GM says, hey, we got a deal in this particular place, now you have to negotiate with that team, I would imagine, before you make that deal, unless you're the Jets like Hassan Reddick. But that's typically the way that
Did he come back? Did he play last night?
He did. He played the last 2 games, and he was really effective.
He was
a sack, a lot of pressures.
I didn't watch a lot of the game last night. I turned it off after the guy dropped the ball.
So bottom line is, in terms of whether he comes back or not, it's dependent on a couple of things. And Rashid's health and his situation with the league. Does Hollywood? Does he come back for the playoffs? Does he play? Do they bring him back? Either way, whether he plays or not, do they bring him back next year?
All right.
Yeah. So a lot of that's going to figure in because there's only so many footballs out there. And if you're a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, if all of a sudden, Rashid's coming back by game 6, Hollywood's re-signed, Xavier Worthy, all these like, where do I fit? So
Right.
It's all about the winning and losing, because like I said, if the Chiefs do go out there and get the job done this year, man, I think Diop probably gonna want to stay with one more year.
Yeah.
for him, yeah.
And speaking of that, which defensive player, defender, has surprised you so far this season?
Hey guys, real quick. Everybody in the comment section loving my guy. They call Kyler Murray the Martian, right? Don't worry about it, because he's doing the Martian things on that field this year, guys. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Don't answer the question, sir.
Which Chiefs defender is the biggest surprise? It ain't FAU. Shoot, man, I'm trying to.
You don't know, so go ahead, Lou.
The biggest surprise. Don't tell me I don't know. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off, sir.
Go ahead, Lou.
I don't know how big a surprise it is, but you like to see like how far he's come from where he came from.
Right.
Tershawn Wharton, coming from a very low level college program to UDFA to where he is now. There's a very legitimate argument that there's an extension for him, I would think.
Right.
So I think he would be the most pleasant surprise, to me on defense for sure.
Who you got? Go ahead, Bo. Go ahead.
Nick, I'm going down the line.
I bet going down the line.
But the biggest surprise for me, is the guy that he already took my guy. I was going to say, but if it's not him, it's got to be Drew Tranquil. I didn't see Drew Tranquil coming back again.
Yeah.
To come out to answer the bell once again when Nick Bo went down, but now he's doing out on the outside. This guy I think is the best free agent pickup on either side of the ball that the Chiefs picked up for the since the Super Bowl run from last year. So
especially for the money. I mean,
for the money, it's
$19 million for 3 years. That's pretty good.
They've got their return on investment already.
Yeah, this guy he's playing Pro Bowl level type of football right now, and I think the Chargers are still biting themselves and saying, Jesus, how did I let go this guy, number 23?
Never once made him an offer.
The Michael Jordan on the team. What you got to say?
Well, I think for me, Leo Chanel, to me, we kind of all thought he would take the next step, but we weren't really 100% sure. But he's everywhere. He's the guy that shadows the quarterback. He's the guy that's great in run stuffing. He can do a little bit of coverage stuff. He can blitz. I mean, they're using him a lot more as a pass rusher, or at least using him in blitz packages, which is kind of what I wanted to see. But I think he's become the glue guy on the linebacker position because Tranquil's had so much success. Obviously, Nick Bolton is playing well. These are the three best linebackers, in the division for certain, especially when they're on their A game. And for the most part, they've been on their A game. They've had some issues in covering tight ends, but the first couple of weeks, but they've just been great. But Leo Chanel, to me, he's underrated. I like the fact they use him as a fullback sometimes. They're just finding different ways. But to me, I thought he would make a jump. I just didn't think it would be this good. So it's I'm surprised that he has been given as many different roles to play on this defense, and he's exceeding my expectations.
And I'm gonna just have to go with that whole. I know I can't pick just one because I did have Connor, but when I see that front four, I don't know. I can't decide because the whole front four is playing well. They're playing good. Like, it shocked me the run. Like, they stopping the run and keeping these backs to 2 point some yards a carry is shocking to me.
It's crazy.
Like, as a unit, I'm like, the whole front four, man, is shocking to me, man.
Yeah.
Like, the run defense is incredible.
Speaking of defense,
we need to figure out what they're putting in the water up in Madison, Wisconsin, because it seems like all these guys that come out of there are able to just do just about anything. When you look at guys like Van Ginkel, the Herbigs, the Watts, I mean, these guys are just different. And you look, and Leo, you always saw it. It's like the athleticism, the burst, he just can do so many things. And I think that's why, we weren't really sure, because if they singled him up in one area, maybe he could get like really good at it. Like, I'm sure you could make an edge rusher out of him. You could make him a middle linebacker. he could probably I don't know, but you could probably play like a safety position in some cases, right? Because he is that fast and he is that strong. So I mean, I just think again, sky's the limit again for a kid like this. But it just would seem like if he ever found a home, he would master it.
Yeah, I agree. He's been terrific.
Man, Chanel, huh? It just you said Wisconsin, huh? I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on Wisconsin players, man, coming out, man, because
very underrated. You just think, hey, there's just these big white guys that can't run or do anything else. Here, I'm dead serious. But like you look at Van Ginkel, I mean, he was like just an afterthought in Miami. Next thing you know, he plays himself into a big contract in Minnesota, and he's like a hand in glove with Flo because he worked with them in Miami. The Herbigs, between Pittsburgh, TJ, JJ at Houston. I mean, all these guys. There's something in the water up there, whatever. But great
keep drafting Wisconsin players. That's all
come
I
on,
say.
guys. If y'all watching the show, Wisconsin, man.
Speaking of defense, do you expect Spags to be a head coach in 2025?
No,
Lou.
I do not, and it's through no fault of his own or through his own, whether it be any shortcomings or whatever it is. I think it's really an age thing, and I think that it's just kind of where the league is now. They're always looking for the shiny young guy. Now, again, this may shift, but it seems like over the last 5 or 10 years, it's like whoever came out of that Shanahan tree, that like little incubator back in DC when Mike, the dad, was the head coach, and Kyle was there, and McVay was there, the LaFleurs were there, Kevin O'Connell was there. That whole incubator and whatever's grown off of them, that's who you want, right? I mean, at least that's what NFL teams want, and it's an offensive guy. One, it's hard to get a defensive coach a head job anymore. And two, especially if you're over 40, let alone over 50, close to, I would imagine Spags is over 60. They're close to it.
I don't know how old he is.
Unless you've got some head coaching chops. Now, he's had the opportunity with the Rams that was just awful. He was the interim.
You're right, he's 64. Wow.
He was the interim in New York with the Giants for a short time. So it's a tough ask for an owner to say, okay, this 64-year-old guy, we're going to retread, bring him back for a head job. I just don't see it happening. But it's not because he doesn't deserve it. It's not that he doesn't deserve it. It's just kind of the way it is right now.
I think he's going to get a couple of interviews this cycle, just because of his success in Kansas City, especially if they win the Super Bowl again. I think that you're right. The age is going to be, and it's difficult. A lot of teams don't want to invest in an older coach right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's kind of different. I mean, he relates to young people about as well as any defensive coordinator in the league, regardless of age. And I think he's got this boyish charm, and he's got this energy, and he sees things differently. And I think what people are overlooking about Spags, and this is just my opinion, is that how much he has, when he came to Kansas City, it took a year and a half to really kind of get that defense to kind of buy into the new culture. But I don't think people understand how difficult a task it was to inherit a Bob Sutton type of defense and the mental breakdowns of what happened with him continually running the defense. And he took some of those players and he turned them into some really good football players. And then Frank Clark comes, and Tyrann Mathieu comes, culture guys that can make an impact. You can say, okay, this is where you go. This is what you lead. So he identifies players like he's done with Chris Jones now and said, follow that guy, watch what he does. And I think he has to go to a very special team to be able to become a head coach. But I think he'll get a couple of interviews. But right now he's making about as much money as the defensive coordinator in Kansas City as the bottom 20% of NFL coaches right now.
I'm going to say this, because I feel like some guy just built to coach a certain position, just like Cliff Kingsbury. He's built to be an offensive coordinator. Spags is built to be a defensive coordinator because he tried it with the Rams. It didn't work out too well for him with the Rams. But when he's a defensive coordinator, he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal. So I think, for honestly, if we do get an interview, probably be another defensive coordinator's job. If not,
he won't leave Kansas City. They
That's
won't pay him as much.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Remember, he was semi-retired when Andy Reid called him. Called him from the Senior Bowl after they lost to the Patriots, and he said, "Hey, I need you." And 2 days later, he was in Kansas City and he signed a contract. So Andy had to sell him to say, "Hey, I need you. I need you to fix my defense. We can win Super Bowls here. I need you." Mm-hmm. And kudos to Andy for doing that, because he and Bob Sutton were very close. They spent a lot of time together over the last couple of decades, and he was a terrible defensive coordinator. But I'm just glad that Andy made that switch, because we don't win these Super Bowls without. And
Spags. they hit on a bunch of picks on the defensive side of the ball as well. I mean, that was a big part of it. So you got young guys just kind of hungry to learn, and he eats that up. And I think Coach Reid always talks about it. He goes, first thing we are is teachers, and that's kind of like how the entire staff goes along. But you try to handicap. Okay, so do you think they're are the Giants going to get rid of Dable? Maybe. Yep. I don't see him going there. I mean, he's got a history there, but I just don't see them going to that age bracket. Jacksonville is probably going to be an open job. Do you really want to take that job at that age? I mean, that's you're digging out of. I mean, especially with Doug Peterson, be the last one to fail there.
See, if I'm the Raiders, I go all in on Spags.
I don't think you go there. If we do lead somewhere,
if Brady has anything to say about it, he'd be the first one to vouch for him, wouldn't he?
He would be.
Yeah, so
he would be all for it.
I don't see him going nowhere, but I know it's a couple of days left before the trade deadline ends. But if you was a GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, which player will you go after? The last one here. So if you the GM, you Brett Beach, which player are you going after over the deadline, or any? Lou.
Man, I wish you wish there was an experienced tackle out there that was on the market, but those are like unicorns.
That one's gone.
Yeah, no one's going anywhere. I don't even know how good that Cam Robinson is. He just happened to be,
he's pretty good still.
Yeah. Well, so is Jaron Taylor, and I think the jury.
They're pretty good. They're not great. He's pretty good. He's basically a Jawan Taylor on the left side.
So I think right now, I think I had mentioned it last time we talked about trades. If you're looking in the corner market, I don't know if I would be, but if I was, the Newsome kid in Cleveland, Northwestern player, was a high draft pick. He may be available, and that might be affordable as well. Mm-hmm. But if the Browns win this weekend, right, and now all of a sudden they think they have a chance because that division is starting to come a little bit closer, and they think Jameis gives them a chance, are they going to be willing to trade somebody that's maybe like their third corner? That's that's a tough one. I've said this before. I thought Alvin Kamara was going to be the guy. The kid, they didn't even have to trade for him, but about a week ago, the Bears cut Velus Jones, who they had converted from wide receiver to running back, and I thought that might be our Jet McKinnon. Right. After the whole Tyrone Tracy thing, which I don't know if they just were against drafting running backs this past year because, hey, we can get him anytime. But Tyrone Tracy, I'm telling you, I mean, every time he plays, you see what he does on the field. Love that kid. Yeah, they're not trading him. So I really don't have anybody in mind. I'm good with what we have. If were able to make
I figured that
for Newsome, perhaps, but other than that, I don't see them really needing anything.
If you were GM, what would you take, Coach Drake?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard the question the first time, sir. I'm gonna say this.
We making sure.
Table for you.
I'm just saying. I appreciate it, guys. So, no, I mean Lattimore. I definitely go DB. I want like JC from Carolina, Lattimore, but other than that, that's about it. Because, like I said, the Chiefs already is a pretty good team all around. So, Like that was a hiccup for me. If I'm the GM, I go Lattimore.
Yeah. Let's see. Chuck mentioned that Jeremy Fowler indicated that Tre'Davious White, I believe he's with the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, could land in Kansas or Tampa. Now he was in Buffalo, and he was injured all the time.
First
round pick. It was somebody that they had shown an interest in free agency maybe a year or so ago, 2 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, he went with Tampa for a year. Right now he's with the Rams. But I think
there might have been a trade
trade. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody can correct me. But Lattimore is probably going to be pricey. Now Newsome, they could probably fit. Now I did notice today, kind of sort of breaking news, that the Chiefs cap space has improved. It is now $3.8 million. That's up about $1.4 million. I'm looking here, and I don't see what possible move they could have made here. But it looks like it's I don't know. I don't see it. So I don't know what move they made, but they do have an increase in cap space. Maybe that's when the final DeAndre Hopkins number is in, which is only $740,000 for the remainder of this year. So it's quite possible that maybe they worked out something different.
The only other way I would go is if there was some indication that Pops wasn't going to be ready for some time, I might go out and get a running back to be kind of like the third guy, because Kareem, whatever he does, he would be a perfect number 2 back.
Yeah,
because he just still, I think his longest run from scrimmage so far this year is like 16 yards. Yeah, he's been an incredible lift to the team.
He's a workhorse.
He's 4 or 5 yards, whatever you need. He's doing what they need him to do. But just to have a little bit more juice in the backfield and somebody that can, do some things in the passing game. Now he can, but again, now that's even more of a workload for him. So, he's going to run down at some point. And I think their thought is by that time, Pops will be back. So that would be the only other place that I look, and wouldn't really be willing to give up much because, again, I'm sure in Veach's mind and everybody else's, you can find backs anywhere.
Yeah. And
plus I'm not playing as Veach right now. I said if you were GM, if I'm the GM, which player I want, I'll go get J.C. Horn. Don't matter the cost. I'll go get him. Go opposite the guy. It said
so you're going to go all in for the corner, right?
All in for the corner.
How much does that really move the needle from going from the corner that they have now playing that spot to throwing in a J.C. Horn, given the way that the front seven is playing, that the safeties are playing, that the other corner is playing? Is it really going to make that big of a difference to this defense?
Well, I'll say yes.
I think so.
The pass rush, Chris Jones, and you got Joshua just now out from the Patriots. That speed there.
Right, that's my point. Is if you can rely on all these things, how much more is that?
I get what Lou's saying.
How much better is that going to make you? Is it going to be worth going all in just to maybe like an incremental increase?
Anything to get the third ring, anything to get the 3P.
Right. I guess that's my point. Is I don't know that that's really going to put you over the top. It's certainly nice to have and would be great, but is it really worth it if it's not going to make that big of a difference? I think they can still win with what they have, right?
True. Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. But to me, to piggyback off Bo, I know Bo was a little flusher a little bit. I got you. All right. I'm gonna say like this. I think it would make an impact though, Lou, because you want a stout guy over that can lock him down regardless of the pressure. You want somebody that can really lock that side up. And it would make a big impact if he was to go get a J.C. Horn, you know what I'm saying, or a Lattimore, a guy that you can trust on this side. Because right now, honestly, there's no trust in that secondary, especially at the DB position, besides McDuffie. So it would make
that's your opinion. That's our opinion, collective opinion.
Right,
but
absolutely.
I guess my point is you plop him in there and whatever. I just don't know how much. I mean, is he going to shave a point off a game, 2 points a game.
It all mattered. It all mattered, don't it?
He can save a touchdown.
Yeah.
A touchdown.
Okay, but you really believe that the margin for error on this team is that small? That's what I'm saying. On this defense, as good as the rest of the unit is,
right.
It's not like we've got somebody playing that corner position that is busting coverage, that is getting beat, 10, every game. It's just like an easy first down. We haven't seen that. Now, against Baltimore, maybe a little bit, but Jalen Watson was playing. That was his first game back, or whatever. You can say whatever you want, but that was more so tight ends, some broken plays by Lamar. So I don't, again, just watching this team play, I'm just in my mind's eye trying to figure out if we put in like one of these corners that everybody thinks is really good in that position, how big of a difference is it really going to make?
Well, Mingo makes a good point. What about Xavier Worthy? It's possible.
I want to trade him after the I don't know.
He's in a tough spot. He's gone through some personal stuff that's just sad.
He's gonna do some personal stuff. So I mean, he's a heck of a talent. He's a heck of a talent, man.
Yeah, I don't think they would move him based on that.
Before we let's get into the last segment of the day, and we're gonna save the 100 game predictions for Monday. Super Bowl predictions. We're gonna say that for Monday, going into the Chiefs and Buccaneers game. So let's go into this. I don't know if the sound is still working. I've been on the back end trying to fix it on StreamYard, so bear with me. If it's not, then we're just going to go right into
Let's do it.
Stop. But again, let's get right into the Cube top 6 picks. And this is what
Cube's power rankings. Yes, let's go.
This is what we have so far with the power rankings today. I have the Chiefs at 7, number 1 at 7-0. I have the Washington Commanders, number 2 on the board. They 6-2 right now. Then I got the Pittsburgh Steelers 6-2. I have the Lions at number 4 at 6-1. I have the Packers 6-2 at number 5, and the Buffalo Bills with 6-2 with 6-2 wins at number 6.
Wait, what?
What? Do you agree with this list, or do you know what you're gonna say? And what would you do to change the list? Since you got to say something, Coach Dre, go ahead.
I ain't no way in hell the Commanders better than the Lions.
Hey, it's
You
my
got-
Cube
you
prediction.
changes,
It's
make your
my
changes.
All right,
Cube
well,
prediction.
I'm about to go for it, man, because now the Lions and the Chiefs can swap, because the Lions are playing phenomenal football right now. My list, I'll put Lions 1, Chiefs 2.
It's not your list. It's a Cube.
Well, can I redo my list, sir? Dang, I will put Lions 1, Chiefs 2. I will put Buffalo at 3. I definitely put Buffalo at 3. I will put Pittsburgh at 4. I will put Green Bay at 5 and Commanders at 6.
Do you agree, Nick?
That's the top 6. So that's it. That's the top 6 right now. I think I give the / Redskins Commanders edge over the Lions for one reason, because they don't have any expectations. They won that football game in a way that was one of the greatest plays I've seen in a really long time. They kind of have that charm, destiny, no situation's too big for these guys. I mean, they didn't play a great game, but the Bears played a good game, I thought. And I think with the Lions, their schedule's a lot tougher. I think that the Commanders, to me, are worthy of, for a week, just based on that play. I think the Steelers are good. I like the Packers, and I think the Bills are the second best or third best AFC team right now. So I'm all in on that. I'm in 100% agreement.
Okay, well,
So you agree with the list. So we got one agreement with the list.
Steal your thunder, Nick, on that particular play. That particular play, they executed well, but that was like that was a lucky play. And I think Chicago really upped the percentage of hitting it with some of the blunders that they did during that. But that's neither here nor there. So I would have the Chiefs and the Lions at 1 and 2. You can put them in either order, depending on what you're looking at, because the Lions right now offensively are just on another level. The defense probably not nearly as good as the Chiefs, so I would put the Lions 2.
Okay.
Number 3, I would say at this point you'd have to say Buffalo, just the way that they're playing. Now, again, the defense may not be, the same guys that we're used to, but they figured out a way how to play offense. And adding Cooper, I just think that's a team you need to watch. So I would have them at 3. Then the Packers, I would probably put at 4. Put the Packers at 4. I would still have the Ravens in here. So I put the Ravens at 5. And then maybe I would say between the Commanders. Now let's put the Commanders at 6.
See what a lot of people not seeing on the board that I've been keeping off the board for a while, guys. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. What I said at the beginning of the season was those two teams was a shell of themselves, and y'all figuring out why these two teams are not on my board.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep them off my board.
Let me be clear for those who are commenting on the board. Yes, the Lions are a better football team than the Commanders. I'm saying for 1 week, just based on the way that game ended, make them number 2 for the week. See what happens. That's it. But you're right. I've got we're going to do our Super Bowl picks, our updated Super Bowl picks on Monday. But the Lions are darn good.
We got to understand, like Lou made a good point though, real quick, Lou. You said the Chiefs defense is playing phenomenal, and the Lions defensively ain't too much, but their offense is incredible.
Without Hutchinson. Yeah,
right.
They're a totally different team.
Absolutely, that's a big miss.
That would be the only edge, I would say.
So if you look at it, if those two was the matchup, I'm just saying just from the list, if the Chiefs offense, the Lions offense versus the Chiefs defense, that would be something to see.
Yeah, I mean the whole game would just be complete theater, and that's, spoiler alert, that's still my Super Bowl pick.
Hey!
But I'm telling you here now, I may be in the minority here or whatever, but I mean, if you're looking at a team that's like bucking for number 6, number 7, we'll see what happens this weekend. But don't sleep on the Rams. If Puka and Cooper stay healthy, they're lethal offensively, and the defense, these young players, Jared Verse, if he hasn't already won Defensive Rookie of the Year, he's going to get it. I mean, the dude is a beast, and he was a transfer from a small school in upstate New York, Albany, transferred to Florida State for his final year and was just a revelation. And he's just continued that in the NFL. Yeah. And there's other guys that they've drafted the last, but the Rams are really a scary team right now. But for this week, I would have it that order that I gave it. And I would still have Baltimore in there around the 6th spot.
What's your best picks for this week?
Oh my gosh. Do you really want them? An all-time low, gang. I went back and did the research. This is my worst week in the last 3 years. So here we go. We're now 18-20 below 500. This sucks. I can't quit the Packers. One of these weeks, they're going to cover the spread. They've won a couple of games, but they haven't covered. Green Bay's 3-point favorite at home versus Detroit. Now, here's the thing. We talked about the weather changing in this part of the world. Jared Goff goes outside. It's going to be about 50 degrees. It's going to be raining. And no Aiden Hutchinson. Green Bay Packers +3. Buffalo plays Miami. Same thing with the weather. Tua in bad weather. Forget it. Buffalo -5. It's probably like up to 6 or 6.5 now. I don't care. Give it away. Cleveland is a 1.5-point underdog against the Chargers. Now you think it sounds crazy. The Chargers giving up like 13 points a game. Jameis Winston, I don't care. Take the Browns +1.5. I talked about the Rams. I really like them this week. They're -1 at Seattle. And then specifically for Coach, here you have it. Love for the desert. Arizona -1.5 over the Bears. That's right. Kyler gets busy against that Bears defense and gets it done. So there you have it, gang. I don't know how confident I am in those.
The man has spoken proudly with an 18-20 record.
That's right.
All right, guys. Hey,
let's get right into our sponsors before we close out. Go ahead.
let's do that, and we gotta close out.
Tell me that face.
All right, first up, Mr. Arcanes for the Arcanes Group. If you're looking for someone who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, there's nobody better than my good friend Eric Haynes. Call him today, 816-729-3785, or email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt today. Another proud sponsor is my incredible wife, Emily Athan. Hey, open enrollment started today. It will last until December 15th. What that means is if you're looking for a flexible health coverage option that's not an ACA plan, my wife can help you. If you are looking at an ACA plan, she's got access to all those as well, so she can guide you in the right direction. So for a free consult, give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
He loves
Emily. We also love our new sponsor, Resell Electronics. You need one-stop shop if you're looking to buy or sell consumer electronics. If you got maybe you got an old laptop, a computer, a cell phone, maybe some consoles, something like that still around, and you want to get some cash for it, those guys at Resell will take care of it. If you're looking for a good holiday gift at a great price, they've got 2 great locations in Independence on Nolan Road and also on 40 Highway. So give them a call today at 816-886-7285 and let them know that the guys at Chiefs Blitz send them.
Resell.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. We'll be back on Monday at 1:30. We'll preview the Chiefs and the Bucks. We'll give our Super Bowl picks as well. Now that the Chiefs will be exactly halfway, 8 games, 7-0. They'll be 8-0 after this weekend here. So we'll kind of look ahead to the future and kind of see what we predict is going to happen in about 100 days from now. So that's it, guys. Peace out. We'll be back.
That's it. We
Monday.
see you Monday.
Shout out Ken St. Clair. Way to go,
right,
man.
Kenny.
We have somebody else on the board.